Hey folks, I have here a mid to late 50s Kodak Brownie Bullseye 620 camera. And it takes 620 film, which is actually 120 film, just on a smaller spool. This is 120 here, and this old metal one is 620. You can see there's a very slight difference in height, but mostly it's in the diameter on the top here. Bought it at a swap meet a couple of years ago for like $5. It's obviously, you probably saw there on the front from the lens there, pretty dirty. Looks like it's probably been sitting in somebody's basement for a long time. I really want to give this one a try. I just bought a bunch of rolls of film. I guess for the past 10 years or so, I've been doing some antique camera photography just because I like old junk. So let me take the flash off here. Oh, and this flash had old batteries in it that leaked all over the place when I got it. So that's going to need some cleaning. So let me show you the inside of this. Turn this latch. The whole back comes off. Back here is where you would load the film. You'd put it right down in there, roll it over the top to your waiting empty spool here, and close the lid, roll it in. Anyway, so I started taking it apart already. I took the two screws out of here. I'm going to take that off now. And and with it came the metal plate that holds the spools. That was just sort of sitting right under here, sandwiched under this Bakelite plastic piece here, and it just held them with those two screws. So once in here, you can see the inner workings of the camera itself. Now, this camera has a hi cat, thank you. This camera has a double exposure prevention feature on it. I'll show you how that works. And you can see I've taken the four screws off the front that hold this assembly to the camera plastic part of the camera body. So the way it works is, you see in here, I'm looking through the back side of the viewfinder, but you see that slash? It looks almost like a lightning bolt. See there? That means you haven't wound the film yet. You're still on an exposure. So if we turn the wind knob, you'll see that it goes away and you hear a click. So of course you would turn it until you saw the number of the next exposure come through that little window. And so basically then you'd press your shutter, and we'll look through it here. See, as soon as I do that, that line comes back in. So that's kind of cool. So this is a little bit of a, it was probably, no Kodaks were really super expensive, but it was probably, more on their higher end for the cameras that they had at the time. So anyway, if the cat will please leave us. Please go, thank you. I'll take off the front. Like I say, I already took out these screws. That's where the flash was attached. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Basically, this is just sort of held on there. Now that the screws are loose. There we go. Just pried it there with my fingernails. Okay. I take it off from that side because I want to be careful not to disturb this button. It appears to want to try to come with it. I don't know if it would. I don't want it to come out. There we go. Okay, so now we got this thing off, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to see, there's two pieces in here because this is an adjustable lens. So you can adjust it for your distance or your focal distance. That's another little feature that not a lot of point and shoot cameras had. So there's two pieces of glass in there. When you turn this just basically moves in and out. So I'm hoping that I can get this apart to be able to get inside and clean both sides, because you can kind of, even in like non-optimal conditions here, you can see how filthy this lens is. And it's on both sides, and I believe it's on the inside as well. Just look at that. It looks like white stuff, I guess it's mold. I don't know. Anyway, so here we have the inside of the front of the camera. It's interesting. You can see everything works in here. You see the double exposure prevention feature there. And I see there's a little tab. See that little tab right there? Well, without it there, when you wind this thing, it just never really stops. So see, if it would normally click here, but it doesn't do that because that tab is not there to make it do that. And it just keeps going. Anyhow, so the inside of here looks pretty good. You can see there's the shutter. So I gotta wind this so that this is just outside of that window. See right there where those two pieces are almost horizontal? Then I can open the shutter. Hold it up to the lamp so you can see. See, there we go. And it also has a it's labeled on the front of the camera as a long setting, often called a bulb setting on a lot of older cameras. Basically, it just holds the shutter open. See? And see now with the cover off the camera, the double exposure thing does not pop through the lens and prevent the shutter from moving. See, because whenever this is over this window, I can just take this plastic thing out. This is the viewfinder. And this is also interesting. A lot of the cameras at the time had a look-down viewfinder like this. You look down into them like that. So this was pretty common. So kind of a fancy thing. You look through the little window there and through the viewfinder. Kind of a new thing then, I guess, with box cameras of this type. So anyway, so inside there, everything looks pretty clean in here. No really, dust or anything. When we look on the back side, we can watch the shutter action. See, there it is. Anyway, so, and I found that screw there does not need to come out for any reason. I took it out and it didn't do anything, so I put it back. So I guess that's just for taking out this internal shutter mechanism here. And you can see how the flash mechanism works. It's just a little switch. The batteries are inside the flash holder, the flash holder over there, and it comes in through one of these terminals here. And basically, when you click the shutter, it just completes a circuit. You see those little thin metal wires coming in there? Well, one goes in, goes to the switch, which is currently in the open position, and then when you press the shutter down, it closes. So let's put it back on our regular instant shutter. So as soon as that makes contact, bam, flash, because it's sending power to the socket. So whether it's held down or not doesn't really matter because the flash bulb only goes off once. So I figured out how to take this lens apart. Basically, there's tabs that are under here. You just have to turn the thing until it's rotated until the tabs are lined up with these slots, and then it pops out. So see if I can do that. Okay. Okay, this turns. I think the outer lens is riveted in place. See those little studs that stop the lens from turning past a certain point? I think those are also, looks like these back ends of these rivets. But I think this just comes out somewhat. There we go. There we go. Oh my gosh, this is filthy. Wow. Okay, I got this lens all cleaned up, and it's not perfect, but it's not bad. So, I'm happy. It was pretty darn dirty on both sides of both pieces of glass. So, well, the pictures will tell. Now, the other thing that I realized is that on this side of the viewfinder is another little tiny piece of glass, or probably plastic, that is almost impossible to see through because it's so crud covered. And I could Can't really get down in there too well, but there's a screw here, so I think I could just take it apart. I see that holds the strap on. Interesting. Let's see, does this come apart then? Oh my gosh, look at all that thread in there. And I still can't get that little window out. Well, at least it's a little easier to access, unless it pops out from here. Here we go, I figured it out. It's popped in. Popped in from the front. I found I was able to actually just push it. Started to push it out, you can see there. I just did that with a Q-tip. I'm going to get it the rest of the way out. Oh, there we go. Okay, yep. One tiny little piece of glass. Tiny little piece of metal. So this little piece of metal just basically, I guess, pops into this hole. And just holds the glass in place. So now that's out, I can clean it. And I got the last thing cleaned in here. And this camera should be able to be put back together and be operational. And here are the results. So I put a roll of 120 film in there, trimmed down to fit, and went out and did some shooting, and I'm pretty happy with the way the lens cleaned up. I just like messing around with old junk of any kind, you know? So I thought this was kind of fun.